What's up, what's good, D-Squad? How you doing? You feeling, man? It's your boy Deep back on another bang reaction, man. You already know what the day is, man. Today is Selena Monday, number 164. Today we got spoken liner notes by the family, Selena. Selena's 20 years of music. So I think this is just an outro of her album, her first album, and maybe I guess this family speaking of like the process of the album. It's about 10 minutes, so we're gonna hop right into it. I'm gonna leave the original video link in the description down below for those y'all wanna check it on your own time. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and join the D Squad. And also subscribe to my second channel, DatBoiDith Skits, if you haven't already, man. This is a pretty long video, so I guess it's gonna be a lot of talking. I don't think it has to be. I don't think there's no translating. That has to be translated or whatever. I think it's just they're just talking English and I guess just talk about the process of the album. So without further ado, let's get into this, y'all.
This album, the first release off of EMI, was recorded in 1989, and I remember it just like it was yesterday. My father receiving the phone call from Jose Bejar, the then existing president of EMI Latin, that he was interested in recording us. We were just thrilled to be considered on a big label at the time. EMI, it was called EMI Capital, and eventually converted itself to EMI Latin. I was super thrilled. On my behalf, I had always produced the albums. It was kind of a little scary because the record company was taking a big gamble on opening a Latin division, and they didn't want me to produce the album. So it was a little bit of a fight there, and we stuck together as a family, and Selena and Dad were real.
That's one thing I like about it, is like they, no matter what, they fought, man. They definitely fought as a family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, it was a lot of controversy and a lot of conflict about, you know, putting out a Latin album and a label, and you know what I'm saying? It's like they had to do a whole lot to make this work, and that's what go to show y'all is dedication and hard work to get what you want. You know what I'm saying? Quitting is not an option. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be people that that's going to be like, no, you can't do this like that. You can't do it like that. But it's up to y'all to talk against that. Like, no, we're going to do it this way. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy because a lot of people get sucked in to what people think. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think, okay, so since he said I can't do it, or since they say I can't do it, I might as well can. But you got to have the guts to be able to talk against the odds. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I give to the Los Dinos family. Like, they definitely, the Quintanilla family, they spoke against all of that, bro.
Real passionate, and said, you know what, no, we got to give AB the chance to do it. If he can't do it, then, you know, we'll get somebody else to do it. So it was very scary, not only for myself, but I believe for Suzette, my dad, Selena, everybody, because I mean, this is a huge label, and we really, at this point, we couldn't afford to take a failure, because if we failed at it, we'd end up back at the bottom of the totem pole. But as time would tell, I mean, it was a very successful album for Selena. Yeah. But the way I feel, anything that she sang, she just breathed something special into the songs. Right. But as far as this album is concerned, I think this was like our first masterpiece of many to come, in the sense that this album had a little bit of pop, a little bit of R&B on it. We kind of got a little more trendier and a little more cutting edge. It was a great experimental album for us to kind of set us in the direction that Dad had originally set us on in the beginning, which was priming everything for the English market, or trying to infiltrate the pop market. And I think this album is a great example of a format that we would further use and perfect as we went along the way.
In 1989, when we joined the EMI Latin family, this is the very first album that we recorded.
Rest in peace to Abraham Quintanilla, man. You know, I still got to remind myself he's no longer here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, you know, he was in charge of the, you know, the museum, the memorial. You know, he was on top of all of that. I mean, alongside Suzette and AB. So rest in peace to Abraham. You know what I mean?
It was titled Selena. And one thing that really sticks out in my mind was when we done the photo shoot for the cover of the album. It was a gravel pit in San Antonio. They made it look like we were out in some desert-like area.
In 1989, we recorded Selena. It was our first record for our first album, should I say, for EMI Latin. Everybody was very excited. We were all excited about this album. It's our It was our first album for a major label such as EMI, and we were very excited and nervous at the same time.
One of the songs that I remember was originally a Japanese song called Sukiyaki.
Yeah.
And I remember that
nice song.
I really liked the song when it first came out, and then it came out with an American group, and I thought that a Spanish version would be nice. So Pete Studio and I proceeded to write some Spanish lyrics for it.
My name is Rick Villa. I used to play keyboards for the band. Sukiyaki was interesting because
that's the dude that be going crazy on that keyboard. You know when they were doing the live performances? Yeah.
We wrote it. Well, I was in the room when they wrote it. I meant to help. They brought me in there to help, but pretty much Pete did everything. And it was pretty cool when Pete came in the band because he's very good. He's very good as a lyricist. It helped a lot of the songwriting also because my Spanish was all right, but not as good as his. Also in Sukiyaki, me and Abe started getting a little bit more elaborate with our arrangements. We started bringing it using sequencers and stuff like that, so that really helped the arrangement a lot. And then, Selena, she sang it real nice.
Yeah,
I think that track came out real
definitely
good.
did.
I would have to say my favorite song off of Selena would be Sukiyaki.
Dang, that's a fan favorite. That's a favorite. So they like that song, the Sukiyaki, because it was so versatile. And it was a Japanese song, and it has Japanese melodies to it. I guess it started as that. That was the original, and then they came and put Espanol lyrics into it. I would have never knew that was like the album favorite. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they see like everybody likes that song. It's a nice song though. I had to add it to my playlist actually.
Father's idea to record it, and I think Selena did an awesome job on it. I mean, it's a beautiful song. It's a little Oriental feel to it. And I think she did her all, she put her all in it. I think it's one of my favorites.
I think that if I remember correctly, the biggest hit out of that album was a song entitled Contigo Quiero Estar. It was a beautiful song, Tejano Ranchera.
Contigo Quiero Estar. And I remember that was back when, Joe first got in the band with us, and back then he had a D50, and if you're a keyboard player, you'll know what I'm talking about. Back when the D50 came out, it was the keyboard. I mean, the sounds were amazing. The keyboard sounds improved greatly. Plus, Joe, he was more flashy player than I was.
I would have to say that a very pivotal point for the career of Selena Los Dinos, as far as song selection is concerned, I would have to say that Besitos kind of threw us in that cumbia direction, and we started getting a little more experimental with cumbia. Even though it was one song on the album that was cumbia, I believe, it kind of set us in a certain direction. I think on the next album, after the first album with EMI, you could really tell the difference of where we were heading with the music.
Este es del disco Selena, también la primera producción en la cual yo participé ya como cantante, como compositor y como integrante del grupo, los nuevos integrantes del grupo. Besitos es el primer tema con el cual colaboré con Avi. Estábamos en Laredo en un baile, realmente fue cuando nos conocimos la primera vez, participamos con ellos en un evento, yo, Ojeda y un servidor, los Bad Boys, y nos conocimos esa noche, y esa misma noche me presentó el concepto o la idea de este tema de Besitos, y fue la primera canción con la cual colaboré yo con Avi. Fue el principio de mi carrera como compositor al lado de Avi Quintanilla, y la primera canción que compuse para la Selena y los Dinos, que después llegué a ser parte de la agrupación. Ámame, Quiéreme fue la primera canción, fue un dueto en la cual yo colaboré ya como cantante con Selena y los Dinos. Y realmente sí, estaba bien nervioso, principalmente porque pues yo nunca había estado en un estudio de grabación, después de estar grabando al lado de Selena, y realmente, pues para que hecho mentiras, me sacaron del estudio porque no lo hice bien. El ingeniero me dijo, ve, apréndete la canción, cuando te la aprendas, vienes y regresas, y entonces te grabamos, y para mí realmente me bajó la moral, y realmente pues casi lloré. Porque mi sueño se me estaba yendo de mis manos de poder grabar, y la primera vez que voy a hacerlo, lo hago tan mal que me corren del estudio, pero gracias a Dios regresé al estudio, y la segunda vez fue la vencida ya. En esa vez sí cumplí ya como cantante. Siempre que cantaban los duetos, En el escenario ya en vivo siempre, pues Selena era una persona con un buen sentido del humor y siempre buscaba una oportunidad para hacernos reír aunque estuviéramos trabajando. Y en la canción No Me Quiéreme o cualquiera de los duetos que cantáramos juntos en el escenario, pues hacíamos el papel de muy romántico para hacer el papel de la canción. Y en una ocasión me acuerdo que yo estaba cantando y había una mosca rodeándome la cabeza. Y precisamente cuando iba a empezar a cantar yo, porque estamos cantando juntos, pues se para la mosca en la frente o en la nariz, no me acuerdo realmente si era la frente o la nariz, y Selena no se pudo aguantar y empezó a carcajearse. Y por más que yo trataba de espantarme, la mosca no se movía, y sinceramente, pues you had to be there. It's funnier when you were there.
I think that was the first duet that Pete did with Selena as far as recording his first recording session was I'm a Quiéreme. And I know that Pete was really nervous and because I don't think he'd ever been in the studio. It was very nice. It turned out really nice, and I think that the people liked it as well, so it made it even more special.
Tengo ganas de llorar. At the time we wrote it, I guess we needed another song, so we got together and tried to write a song. And the part he wrote, I thought was really cool. But the part that I came up with, I wasn't too happy with at the time. But in the end, it came out okay. Maybe we just trying to be polite, and he probably just let it pass because we needed another song. But anyway, with Selena, everything came out okay. She did a real good job on it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, my favorite or the song that on this album that I really liked a lot that came out really nice was the song.
Did he not say that on this? Why only Chris?
That Selena wrote and that myself and Ricky Vela arranged and produced for her. It was a song called My Love. And I love that song. It's kind of got a little flavor of like what was happening back in the day, which you had groups like Expose and Sweet Sensation, and so it's got a real club feel to it. And I was really proud of that song for Selena. It was her first, I believe, songwriting attempt, and I was real happy for her. And the song it's a great song.
Whenever we had to do go into conjunto style, norteño style, I was cringed a little bit because we didn't have a real accordion, and the accordion that I used it was an old sample, and when you went up too high, or it tended to sound kind of unaccordion like. So when we would record, especially like Mentiras, it's a real cool song, but I know I always cringe when I hear it because of the accordion sound. Of course, later on, we were able to get actual accordion players in the studios to the recordings later on sounded better.
One of the songs that's a little bit different is No Te Vayas. It's got a kind of like a cumbia reggae type of beat to it, and I think that's where you could really hear the influence.
We did, y'all, in case y'all wonder, we did all the songs that they're talking about, by the way. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't do it while we started reviewing this album, that means I've done it already earlier in my channel. I know I've said that sometimes. A lot of people are new here, so in case you're wondering, yes, we've done all the songs that they're talking about.
That, the music that AB liked putting that little drive into the cumbias that we had, and I think that's one of the first times that, you can really hear that type of different rhythm to a cumbia, which is No Te Vayas.
Para los fanáticos de Selena y los Dinos, esto que se está haciendo de 20 años de música de Selena y los Dinos es algo que es un labor de amor. Lo estamos haciendo para todos los fans, los fanáticos de Selena, para todos los coleccionistas, y los invitamos que lo escuchen.
All right, y'all. Man, I just wish I heard Chris's voice and I heard Selena's voice. I wish they like she was able to say something. Wish they at least had her voice of her saying something about her reflecting off the album, because that would have been nice. But I mean, apparently that was after she passed, 20 years, I guess. But it's I wish Chris said something, man. That would have been, Chris wasn't on that album. This was probably before Chris got in the band, maybe. That's probably why he wasn't on there. But I mean, Pete said something, AB said something, Abraham, Suzette. That was good, you know what I'm saying? Because they were definitely there working on it. So that's nice. So that was to wrap up. That was the outro of the Selena album. That was the last track, the last thing. So now we got to move on to the next Selena album. I don't know which one it is, but I'm gonna find out for next week. But like I say, y'all, I am skipping the songs that I've already done. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it makes sense to do it again. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm going to go through every album to see which one I haven't done already. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure I've done most of them, but I know there's some out there that I just haven't listened to yet. So we're gonna explore that. You know what I mean? That's what we're here for. So like I said, rest in peace to Abraham, rest in peace to Selena. But yeah, y'all, that includes another video of Selena Monday. You know, hope you guys enjoyed it. Same time next week. Any other questions, guys? What you guys want to see next week? Just drop in the comment section and we'll go from there. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoying your Monday, your Memorial Day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys were able to relax like me. You know, back to work tomorrow. Whoever that can relate, just go like this, you know. But nah, I thank God for some time off. You know, sometimes you need it. But nah, y'all, y'all just stay safe out there. You know what I'm saying? Hope you guys are looking forward to Tuesday tomorrow. You know, just keep your heads up, stay grinding, never stop grinding. Quitting is not an option. So yeah, y'all, without further ado, I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, Deef is out, man. Peace.